Yeah, man, I'm seeing a lot of the Wilder's going to pull off the upset card coming. And this generally happens in the lead up to big fights, pay-per-view fights, is the underdog starts to get some love. They call it sharps versus Joes. The sharp money, as far as betting, is the smart people that break down the fights, everything about the fights, who the judges are, who the referee is. They know people inside the training camps who know these fighters. But then you have the square money, the average Joe. And those are the people who tend to fall in love with the underdog as the fight gets closer. And that's what we have right here as far as Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder's avenue to victory is very narrow, very narrow. Tyson Fury's is wide. And he showed that in both fights. The first fight, he really won the fight by boxing, lateral movement, et cetera, just showing a complex style. But then the second fight totally changed his style, walked Wilder down, became the bully, and stopped him, and legitimately stopped him. And then Fury can show you a completely different look in the third fight. But I think he'll show you more of what he did in the second fight. I think this is going to be a continuation of the second fight, in my opinion. But the people falling in love with Wilder, I think they just want to see something that isn't there. Every single time I see Fury in a big fight, I see these people become psychologists leading up in the weeks leading up to the fight. I saw it with Klitschko. I saw it with the other two Wilder fights. Oh, Fury doesn't look right in the head. Oh, Fury's dancing in the hotel room the day of the fight with Klitschko. That looks bad. I don't think he's ready. Then Fury comes out and completely dominates Klitschko. Did the same thing with Wilder. The first fight, he came in too heavy for people. This fight, the second fight, he came in too light. And this fight, he's coming in too heavy again. People will always have something to say, but what happens, like clockwork, is Fury performs his best when it's under the big lights. He's one of those guys who shows up, man, and he's going to show up again. And he's going to win this fight by whatever he wants to win it by. If he wants a stoppage, he's going to get a stoppage. If he wants to play it safer and get a decision, he'll get a decision. He's the better fighter. That's what the second fight proved. And of course, Wilder has a puncher's shot because he has the biggest weapon in boxing, which is that right hand. But how is he going to set it up? His shot of winning this fight is to go out there and swing for the fences. Go out there and just try to throw a relentless amount of punches till that right hand falls off. And just be sloppy, but go for it. From what I'm seeing, he's changing his team. He's working on body punches. He's making adjustments. No, man, if you're Wilder, you don't make adjustments. You don't work on your weaknesses. Fighters 40-something fights into their career don't change who they are. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. A dog that's 15 years old, you're not going to teach them how to sit, lay down, roll over. They don't know that. It's not in their nature at that point. You got to get to them while they're puppies. And Wilder, at this point, 40-something fights into his career, you're not going to change him. You're not going to turn him into a master boxer. You're not going to improve his footwork. None of that, especially in that short of a period of time. Boxing is littered with fighters who they maybe coming off of a loss, 30, 40 fights into their career, all of a sudden change trainers and think it's going to give them a good look, and maybe it'll work in the short term, but in a big fight, it's not going to work, man. Once you get hit by a superior fighter, you're going to revert back to who you were. And that's Wilder. Wilder needs to get out there in this fight and just hammer it. He needs to try to push Fury back and try to land that right hand, because his problem is going to be setting up the right hand, because Fury is a master boxer. He just is. He's a chess player in there. He knows how to avoid that right hand, and even when he gets clipped with it, he showed in the first fight, he gets up. I just think once you face the guy 19 rounds, and in my opinion, Fury has won 15 of the 19 rounds, I don't know what else Wilder can do at this point besides go in there and throw haymakers. Because boxing a master boxer is not going to work. There are no improvements that Wilder can make. You don't work on your deficiencies here if you're Wilder. You don't pay attention to that. You double, triple, quadruple down on your strengths. And his strength, the one thing he has going for him in this fight, the one thing he's superior at is that right hand. Throw it till it falls off. And that's your shot at winning this fight. More on this tomorrow. The official breakdown, the official prediction of the third fight tomorrow.